Hey, thank you for joining me on this quick training on the differences really between a pay per lead, pay per performance business model and what you're probably experiencing in your agency in the retainer model. So what's up? My name is Bentley. I am the CEO of Pivot and Scale. Just to give you a quick rundown on who I am. I've been in digital marketing since 1998, since before the internet was essentially born. All the things that you know of social media, I've watched basically start and grow. That being said, I also had a pay-per-lead agency in the automotive space in which we grew to becoming the largest privately held lead generator in the automotive space. We were acquired by a public company called Auto by Tel. The company that we had was called Autotropolis. We also had an agency called Cyber Ventures. Both were acquired in the acquisition. And the deal was worth about 15 million bucks. And we wound up working with the public company for a few years, and due to stock that we were able to get through the acquisition, we were able to get a lot more money out of it after we sold the stock, and the deal was wound up about $20 million. So that being said, I just wanted to kind of give you a quick overview as to the experience that I have and why we're talking right now. And without further ado, let's get after it. Okay, so in the agenda today, we're going to talk about what a pay-per-lead agency looks like in practice. All right. Why charging per lead results in exponential month-over-month growth as compared to a retainer agency, how you can automate essentially 90% of your agency workload, and there's no more of the massive amount of hiring as you try to scale with your agency in this business model. And of course, I'm going to quickly go over just the markups and the cash flow behind a performance-based offer, and just how, if you just break it down and you stick to a simple plan, that before you know it, you're at a 7-figure run rate for your agency. Okay, so can we all agree? Typical agency. Your sales process, right? For basically selling services, right? You're competing against all other agencies. So essentially you're going out and you're trying to get somebody on board. It doesn't matter what niche it is. And usually most of the time you're going after anybody you can, right? It's not really focused. It's, hey, if I can get a dentist on board, I'll do the dentist guy. If I can get a HVAC guy, I'll do that. If I can get a car dealer, I'll do him, right? So you're all over the place usually because you're going to take anybody you can. But what you're also doing is you're competing against other agencies. You're trying to get somebody out of a deal with another agency, or you've got agencies that are constantly selling the same services. Facebook ads, Google ads, we'll do your funnels, we'll do your email marketing, we'll do all this stuff. And basically you're at the beck and call of your clients. Now, of course, when you do land that client, right, you have to build these funnels. You have to have a massive onboarding, and it usually takes a good solid 30 to 45 days to really onboard somebody, get everything cranking, get everything moving right along. You've got a fixed profit, right? So even if you're at a retainer and then maybe a percentage of spend, you're pretty much fixed there. I mean, yes, if they spend a little bit more money on ads, yeah, you can make a little bit more money, but you're fixed at that percentage right there. And you have no control over the traffic, right? So you're sending all the traffic that you're generating on behalf of a client to that client. Right? You don't have any control over that traffic. You don't have control over the opt-ins or anything like that. It all 100% goes to the client. And of course, your maintenance, right? Your monthly reports, your KPIs, you got to justify your spend. When it's all said and done, it's a nightmare at the end of the month and the beginning of the month to have those calls with those clients. And basically you're like, gosh, I really hope you did well. Because you just don't have anything having to do with a pure performance-based offer. You're basically being a service-based agency and hoping that what you're doing is working for your clients. So it's nervous, it's nerve-wracking, it takes a lot of time out of your day, and you're just hoping. You're hoping that they don't fire you, right? Now, here's what it looks like. You're probably in a traditional retainer model agency. You have one unique ad, right? And then you have your landing page you offer, and then it goes a separate client relationship, right? So what I call it is a one-to-one relationship. For every client you have on board, it's just one relationship, right? So you have to get a new client on board, you have to have your offers, you have to have your landing pages, you have to do all their ad spend, and then at that point you have to deal with that one client. And of course, let's talk about that. You have to get the permission for things. They're constantly bugging you. It's a pain in the ass to deal with clients on a one-on-one basis. And probably The ones that are paying you the less are the ones that are bugging you the most, right? The ones that are probably the big whales are like, yeah, okay, do your thing. Let's go ahead and see what's here. Here's a couple notes for you. Let's go. The ones that are like, paying you the $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 are probably the ones that are calling you every single day, figuring out what's going on, micromanaging you, and it's a pain in the ass. So that being said, traditional retainer model agency 121 for the PPL agency, okay? Your sales process. It simplifies everything, right? It's a simple pitch. You pitch as a partner, okay? So you're not trying to take over all of their marketing efforts, right? So it doesn't matter if they're already engaged with another agency. In fact, it's good if they're engaged with another agency because you can go in there and literally just be like, listen, we're not looking to take over all of your efforts. We're just looking to get you a couple more appointments a day. Can you handle that? Are you completely booked, or can you handle just a couple more appointments a day? Yep. I mean, if anybody who says that they can't handle a couple more appointments a day is either crazy or lazy. Okay, so anyways, the pitch becomes really simple. It's streamlined. It's all we're going to do is give you results. We're going to give you opportunities. We're going to give you appointments. We're going to give you leads, and you are guaranteed to pay for a qualified lead. Okay, your client onboarding. Forget about the 30 days, 45 days, and having to literally hire new talent every single time that you get a new client on board. Basically, the onboarding process is simple. It's like 3 to 4 hours. All you're doing is basically saying, okay, listen, what area do you want? What is your radius? What's your CRM? Let's go ahead and connect that, and let's talk about how many leads you want, and if there's a daily cap, and press submit. Okay, that's essentially what you're doing when you're onboarding a new client in the pay-per-lead, because essentially what's winding up happening is you're just generating leads and you're sending them. It's it, right? Your job is simple. You don't have to deal with the client, and of course with a maintenance. All it is a monthly check-in. You're just checking, hey, how'd you do with the leads? I mean, that's it. How'd you do with the appointments? Let's get some victories. And the thing about it is when you ask them, you say, because we're trying to be a partnership, I need to know where your sales are at. So therefore, I can take that sales data and I can reverse engineer it, and I can go find those campaigns and I can get you more sales, right? So it's like, let's start this partnership, and it becomes a symbiotic relationship that you have with your clients, but at the same time, they just don't bug you. The only time that they might bug you is say, hey, listen, I couldn't get a hold of this guy. It's a bad number, bad email. We can talk about validation in a second. There's all of these mechanisms to make sure that doesn't happen, but in the 5% that it does, no problem. Great. We'll go ahead and debit your account and make sure you're not paying for Mickey Mouse or Donald Trump. So the difference between a traditional agency and a pay-per-lead, pay-per-opportunity, pay-per-appointment agency is it's one to many. Okay, this is where the magic happens. You own the traffic, right? It's your campaign, and you're driving it to your site, not somebody else's site, but it's your third-party site. And what this does is it creates your brand. Okay, it creates your asset. Now, once you have that asset, you can control the traffic. You can focus on the traffic. You can dissect your landing pages. You can dissect your ad buying. So if you're in Google, like really delving into really fine tuning all of the different Google keywords, you can do YouTube. You can do Facebook. It doesn't matter essentially what platform you use as far as driving traffic, but essentially you become a third-party brand. You become the advocate in that specific space. And we'll get into niching in a second, but essentially you build it in one niche. All right. So what we did is we had a company called autotropolis.com. At that point, that was our consumer-facing site. Consumers went there. If they wanted a car quote, they would get it. And all we would do is generate the leads on that site, and we would send them via lead management systems off to the dealerships. So again, one funnel. It's one to many. You can have as many clients as you want just onboarding, and all you're focusing on is one funnel, and it automatically automates the process. So when I talk about niching down and creating your own brand asset, this is what I mean. All right. So if you're talking about insurance, insurancequotes.com, all they focus on is getting a quote for insurance, right? Now, can a consumer go to Progressive, Allstate, Geico? Sure, they can definitely do that, but they're not going to get competing quotes, right? They're just going to go straight to the source. And that's why third-party sites exist. They want to get competition. They want people to hold their hands. They want to get advice. There's a lot of noise out there when it comes to Yelp, all right? Some 5 stars from 1 stars in the same exact vendor. Who do you listen to, the 5-star guy or the 1-star guy? Well, let me keep on searching. Well, I just found insurancequotes.com. They're going to give me who they have vetted, who they feel is the best person to get me the best quotes on my insurance. Okay, let's talk about law. FindLaw.com. Get help with all of your legal needs. FindLaw makes it easy to find a lawyer. It is overwhelming with all of the ads that you see on TV and all the radio spots and not knowing which lawyer you should go to. So what do? You go to a third-party site. That's what consumers do to find a lawyer, because that site has done the work for them. And of course, I wanted to show you AutoBytel. This is a company that acquired us. They are still doing their thing. You can shop new cars, used cars, top 10 cars, new car price quote. That is essentially the money shot right there. That's the lead, right? So as soon as somebody clicks on that, they're like, hey, would you be looking for a Ford Mustang in Beverly Hills 90210? Yes, submit. Great, congratulations. We found the top dealers in your area that want to fight for your business. Go ahead and select your dealers, press submit, boom. However many dealers they select, that's how many times you get paid, right? So that is essentially it. And the reason why you niche down is so you can focus on one specific funnel. All right. The sales process becomes very simple. So when you're niching down, you just have one funnel when it comes to the B2C, and you have one funnel when it comes to B2B. It's not going after lawyers. It's not going after anything. It's all of the things that go along with just making it as streamlined as possible from one end of your company to the other. Okay. Streamline. And then of course, I want to talk about why it's important to build that asset. What happened to us? We were the largest lead provider in the nation. We were generating these leads. Well, just because we're the largest lead provider in the nation privately held didn't mean we were the biggest ones that were publicly held. So, things like Auto Trader, Kelley Blue Book, Edmunds, nowadays you've got the Carvanas and the Car Gurus, right? Well, AutoBytel was one of those companies that were a lot bigger than us. They saw an opportunity that we had. They saw the amount of leads that we were generating, and they said if we purchased them, well, we can own the traffic. So what did they do? They had an acquisition, and boom, there you go. And then they became the leaders after they purchased us. So that's why you build your asset in one niche, because you become an expert and authority in one niche, and you have a potential to actually have an exit strategy that you absolutely will not have if you have a traditional agency. Okay, so again, one funnel, one offer, there's more money there, all right? If you concentrate on one funnel that you own, okay? That means that you literally control the traffic. So the traffic comes in through your funnel. When you collect those leads and you send them to the different clients, guess what? You still have your list. Okay, you have the ability to do parallel offers to them, right? So when you control the traffic, yes, you send the leads, and the byproduct of your traffic and the leads is the results that you give to the clients, right? So boom. You generate leads on your third-party site, on your third-party branded site, and then all you do is once that person is on board, they tell you, what kind of leads they want, how many leads they want, what they'll pay for them, and boom, there you go. It automatically just sends them through the system, okay? The beautiful thing is there's no confusion on deliverables, okay? I'm going to give you opportunities, I'm going to give you appointments, I'm going to give you leads. That's it. Right? There's not any KPIs. We sent you traffic, and we did all this, and we had this spend, and this is the amount of spend, and now we got to rebill you, and because you had, forget it. It's over. You don't have to worry about that with this business model. You guarantee opportunities to clients, and honestly, when it's all said and done, the only reason somebody hires an agency is so that they can make more money. They don't care really about their social media presence. They have a social media presence so they make more money. Right? So the bottom line is your services don't matter. It's all about making sure that you guarantee opportunities for your clients, because that's all they care about. And again, you control the spend and the potential ROI. So basically you generate a lead for $25, you sell it for $50, there's a 50% margin right there, boom. If you get that lead down to $20 on average, guess what? You just made an extra 10-15% in profit. It's insane. It's insane how when you focus on one funnel, how you can dial things in and be able to make more money. So month-on-month exponential growth. Again, you don't need to hire more staff every few new clients. Okay, here you go. When we were acquired, we only had four people doing ad ops for our funnels. That's it. We had automation software, and we had four people that managed literally. I would say we're doing between $300,000 and $500,000 a month as far as spend was concerned with our company. That's all you needed. That's all we needed to do. Did we have salespeople? Sure. We had upwards of six at the height of our company. By the time we sold, we were about 4. So we're talking 8 full-time employees total by the time we sold our company. And at that point, yeah, we had some development and some freelancers and things like that. So there's some costs involved with it. But essentially, that's all we had as far as full-time employees, 8. Right? The cool thing about it is you can have multiple clients in the same area, and then all you do is round robin them. So you can scale your ads in a DMA. And what I mean by that is a DMA is, like a city area. So let's say, where I live in the Tampa, St. Pete area, it's that whole entire DMA is what it's called. Essentially, you can get multiple clients in the one area. Usually with an agency, you're like, oh, I'm not going to do any competing people in that area. I'm going to stick with one person because there's a conflict of interest. Well, there's not a conflict of interest here because all you would be doing when you're distributing the leads is round robining them. So the more people you have in that one specific area, the more leads you can generate in one area, the more you can round robin, and the more you can dial in your ad spend. It makes it scaling. It makes it so that scaling is much easier regarding each DMA, and of course your sales process, and then your churn rate. So it's minimal. As long as you're delivering quality leads, which is not hard to do, because as long as you are white hat, not doing any black hat, co-reg, spam, all that crap, right? If you're out there just generating leads, real people, okay, with a real offer, then as long as they have some sort of process in place, which we can discuss that on other trainings, you're just delivering results for your clients. So your churn rate is minimal. And the bottom line is, even if you do have a little bit of churn, which will happen, what do? You plug somebody in that round robin, right? It makes it much more simple. Okay, automating your agency workload. Automation tactics are effective with one funnel to increase your ROI. It's hard if you're only spending $3,000-$4,000 a month with a client to truly automate your stuff. But when you start getting 10, 15, 20, by the end of 1 year, 50 clients on board, and you're generating a ton of leads for them, you can really focus on automating your ad spend. And there's plenty of software out there that I can recommend that basically does that for you. Now, leads are distributed on autopilot via a lead distribution system. So all you do is you set up your lead distribution system. Now, there's a lot that goes along into making sure you set that up correctly, and there's a lot of mechanisms there. But once it is set up, guess what? It basically is on autopilot. The leads come in from your ad spend, and then the lead distribution knows exactly who and where and what and how much and budgets and all of that stuff having to do with each individual client and setting them the opportunities, okay? And then client acquisition becomes simplified, resulting in more clients so you can scale, because what winds up happening is all you need to do is focus on one script. You focus on one script. You don't have all these different scripts for all these different niches and having to constantly figure it out. By the time you dial in your script for your sales process, it becomes a simple pitch as a partner. And once you have that script and you're able to execute it, guess what? It becomes easy. And with Pivot and Scale, we give you all of the scripting. We give you the VSLs. We give you the agency funnels and all of that stuff. So all you essentially need to do is take whatever niche that you're in and take your offer, manipulate that, and you should be ready to go as far as sales are concerned, your B2B. Real quickly before we go, 7-figure run rate agency, okay? The way I like to break this down is there's so many gurus out there. I got to get to 10K. I got to get to 50K. I get to 100K. Listen. If you just look at your business like a business, things get simplified. All of us feel like we need to make $1 million tomorrow, okay? But if I told you that there's a way to make $1 million in your agency, a 7-figure run rate in 1 year, would you be like, oh, well, it's going to take too long? Absolutely not. You're building an asset. You're building a business. You're an entrepreneur, and you want to grow this thing, right? It takes a few years to get to the $2-3 million agency mark, but it is there for you if you want it. So that being said, let's say the average client spends $2,000 with you. Okay, not a lot. The average cost per lead is $50. And again, I'm just throwing out these numbers. This is not niche specific. I just want to give you an example. Total leads delivered per month, 40. All right, that's 2,000 divided by 50 is 40. That means all you have to do for that one client at one DMA is deliver them 1.3 leads a day. So 1 lead one day, 2 leads the next day, 1 lead, et cetera, right? It doesn't seem like an overwhelming task, right? You should be at a ROAS per lead at 50%, which would mean that your return on ad spend is $1,000 for that $2,000 paying client. Now, if we break it down off of those numbers, here's what happens. Month 1, you will gross $8,000. Your return on ad spend is $4,000. Now, don't get me wrong. The first few clients, you might not be at that ROAS because you have to tweak and you have to get your funnel ready to go. And before I move forward, I just want to explain to you how it works as far as payment is concerned. As long as you're going after retail clients, you do not have to front the spend. It's just like any agency. You wouldn't do work unless you get the money up front. It's the same way here. The only difference is they know exactly what they're getting, and it's almost like a debit card. Okay, I'm giving you $2,000, $50 a lead. One comes in, guess what? Now I've got 39 left. Now I got 38 left. Now I got 37 left. Boom. And they have their own customer portal where they can see all the reporting as well. So that being said, your ROIS, 50%, 4,000 leads delivered. All you had to deliver to almost be at 4K or 10K is 160 leads, right? Not a big deal. Again, active clients 4. Now, let me get to active clients. What does that mean, right? That means that all you need to do is sign up one client a week. That's it. When you get your one funnel in and you niche down, it becomes more simplified. And let's say that you make 10 calls a week. You only close 10%. 10%. 1 out of every 10 people you talk to, you close into a deal. That means all you'd have to make is 2 calls a day. 2 calls a day, 10 calls in the week, 1 deal landed, $2,000 or $2,000 for that specific week. Okay. Let's fast forward to month 6. Let's say everything stays the same. Okay. 48 grand a month, $50,000 a month agency, $24,000 return on ad spend at 50%. Okay. What did you do? You now have 24 clients on board, which are not a pain in the ass. Okay. They're just onboarded and you're just sending them leads. You delivered 1,000 leads. Okay. So as you grow with clients, you're going to grow your ads. Now, by month 12, you are at $100,000 a month agency. Okay. You've basically had a return on ad spend at 50%, profit, 48 grand. You have delivered 2,000 leads that month. Okay. Now it starts to be fun numbers, right? Delivering 2,000 leads. Okay. And you have 48 active clients. Now, guess what? You're now at a 7-figure run rate. So going into year 2, if you just stay the same at that 12 months, right? Like you don't grow anymore. You just stay there at 48 clients. You are at a gross of $1.1 million and a return on ad spend at about $576,000. If you continue to grow at the same pace you're doing, one net client a week, guess what? Your gross is 2.3 million and your return on ad spend is 1.1 million. All right, pretty cool. Now, there are additional profit centers. Okay, I'm not going to get in depth into this, but appointment setting. You can charge more per appointment, per lead, or you can have a fixed service in which you handle that. VAs are not very expensive. You can set that up pretty quickly and basically charge more for appointments. Okay, certain niches require appointments, certain niches just want the leads, and then it also differs if somebody has processes in place or if they don't. The bigger they are, they probably just want the leads. The smaller they are, you could probably upsell them on appointments. Wholesale lead selling, optimizing your lead selling. Listen, there is a enormous opportunity as far as if there are specific bigger niches, wholesale, buy and sell on a wholesale level, so that what you would essentially be doing is having the opportunity to fill buckets and buying some leads for your clients. And secondly, you make sure that you optimize all of your ad spend. So in the event that your specific clients hit their caps, or in the event that somebody generates a lead outside of a radius that you don't have a retail client, what does it do? You have an opportunity then to ping out, through ping posts, and basically ping out to say who in the world wants to buy this one lead for me? I just generated them. I don't have a home for them. Somebody raises their hand, your system automatically sends it. You just optimize the amount of money you can make off of per lead. And then of course, affiliate offers. Now, you can have affiliate programs that you don't necessarily have to worry about. You're just sending traffic to after somebody converts on your site. And then you run additional parallel offers. So for example, we had new car quotes, right? So what do we do on the thank you page? Would you be interested in used? How about some car insurance? Do you want some special finance if you got bad credit? Click, click, click. If they go out to those different places, what do? They convert. You make money off of affiliate programs right then and there, okay? So again, when you control the traffic, there's a lot more money that you can make. All right, so just real quickly, I want to just show you a couple of people that are in the Pivot and Scale program. This is Chris. He messaged me. He goes, "I'm not joking. You may have saved my life. I was so stressed and miserable trying to scale the retainer agency. I could have died, LOL. Now I'm going to 400K in a month, 3 months into the program. That's crazy. Amazing experience, man. We'll have to take a celebratory private jet trip on me." Pretty cool, right? Let me go ahead and show you exactly what his brand looks like. All right, great. So Healing Hand. This is the brand that he has created since he joined Pivot and Scale. Again, he was doing all things for clients before. Now he's building his own brand asset. He decided to go into IVs. Basically, all he does is go after IV companies that need clients to give them IVs, and he generates the leads from a site like this. So this is his brand, right? Pretty cool. Healing Hand. So if you go to services, IV therapy. Now, this is just a general site. This doesn't necessarily show you all the landing pages that go along with it that we cover in detail as far as how to optimize your landing pages and things like that as far as the Pivot and Scale program, excuse me. But this is what he has built. Okay, if we continue to go on. Here is Kevin, another one of our members. This is what he wrote. Our agency has invested in training programs and mentorships over the years with varying degrees of impact on my thinking and or our agency's performance. I can say with 150% certainty that Pivot and Scale has been the most impactful program for our agency since we launched it over 5 years ago. We have completely changed our thinking systems and ability to build a fun and lucrative new revenue line in the pay-per-lead space. If you're serious about transforming your agency heavily, consider Pivot and Scale. Ian is a phenomenal mentor. That's me. The tools and resources that he has assembled based on real-world experience are first class. Thank you, Kevin. It's so cool to work with agency owners like this. And let's go ahead and take a look to see what brand Kevin is building. So Kevin is building MedSpa Life. All right, medspalife.com. Essentially, he's going after the med spa industry. All right, so now he has built a third-party site in which he will generate leads, and he will get med spas on board and just generate the leads through his one site, through his one funnel, and just distribute the leads or the appointments to actual med spas. Now, if you think about it, there's a lot of different ways that you can skin the cat as far as med spas are concerned. There's laser, there's Botox, there's cool sculpting, there is filler, and then you can get into plastic surgery. So the vast amount of opportunities you have just within one niche are insane. So anyways, Kevin has built this cool site and his brand based off of the training that we have in Pivot and Scale. So if you are interested, if you're an agency owner who is making at least $5,000 a month, okay, and you have some experience in digital marketing, some ad buying, and what have you, feel free to go to pivotandscale.com/apply. If you want to learn a little bit more about the program before you apply, not a problem. Just go to pivotandscale.com. You can see a little bit more about the training that we have to offer. Feel free to go directly to the apply. And if you would like to, talk to a team member to see if it's a good fit for you. If it is a good fit for you, great. We welcome you on board into the program, and we can see if we can help your agency get to 7 figures in 12 months from now. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it.